friend Esther. I get the privilege of taking you through the first part of the presentation, but before I do, I hope it's okay. I just thought I'd share a little bit about me and kind of how I ended up here, really. So, my name's Claire, and I've been working this business now for the last 11 and a bit years. 11 and a bit years, and I remember that exactly because it was actually when my first daughter was 8 weeks old. So I've had this business for as long as I've had children. I'm now the mum of three girls. They're 11, 9, and 7. And that's my reason, really. That's why I'm here. And my background is in education. I absolutely loved my job. I really did. And if I'm honest, I naively thought I had it made. School holidays. I thought that'd be great for when my children went to school. I thought it would be a good balance, shall we say, in terms of a professional career, which is what I wanted for myself. However, whilst being off on maternity, then I started to dread my return to work and really thought, actually, am I going to have as much time as I want being a mum? And if I do return part-time, what were my career options going to be? Because you can call this selfish, I don't know. My husband just thought I was crazy. I wanted everything. I wanted time at home. I wanted a great income. I wanted to feel satisfied in my job and have, a clear path of where I was going in terms of personal development. I wanted style to my life. And my husband, I remember he said to me, Claire, you're going to have to just pick. Which do you want? Time at home or a career? And there was part of me that thought, surely I don't have to. And so that's how I ended up here. A friend of mine really kindly shared this business with me. And whilst being initially skeptical, I will say, and you might feel the same when you look at this, because this was very different. I'd never seen anything like this before. But I realised nothing changes if nothing changes, right? And so I needed to be open-minded and come and have a look at some information, just as you are doing this evening. And do you know what? Fast forward 11 years, this business has really, really changed things for me. I did adapt to a new way of working. As I said, I'd never done anything like this before. I was a teacher in my past career. And I kind of started from scratch here. Thankfully, the support, coaching, guiding, and mentoring has been absolutely unbelievable. It enabled me to replace my full-time income within 6 months after starting. I never went back to work after that first maternity leave. And as I said, I've gone on to build this business literally in the nooks and crannies of my day, in and around my children. Now they're all at school runs, hobbies, whatever it is. I'm pretty much a full-time mum, and I'm really proud of the successful career that working alongside this company has enabled me to have. You'll have your own reason for tuning in this evening, but I do just want to share with you, just before we get to that bit, a few statistics, because actually I think the world has changed even from 11 years ago. People are looking, people are out there actively looking for a flexible way of working. And I don't like to keep bringing up the pandemic because I know that changed a lot of things for a lot of people. Actually, a lot of people have had a flavour of less of a commute, actually working from home and quite enjoying it. And some of that has been able to continue, but I know that kind of big companies are starting to kind of claw their staff back into the office now, and people are still craving that flexible way of working from their choice of location. So if we take you to the next slide, I've got a couple of statistics that may just make you think, or may just make you think about yourself and also people around you. So did you know that 70% of employees are now looking for flexible working options as a priority in their career? It's not just not 70% of people are looking, that's 70% of people see that as a priority. Wait till you see the business partner aspect of what we do and hold that statistic in your mind, because that's either you and or people you know. Post-pandemic, lots of people are. Lots of people prioritize now home and family life. 28% of people in the workplace are seeking a career change. I think gone are the days where people go through school, get their qualifications and sit in a 40-year career and retire. It's okay to mix it up a bit. It's okay to retrain. It's okay to kind of look outside the box and think, actually, is this me? And actually, is it 40 years or is it going to be more? Approximately 44% of the UK workplace now has a second income stream. That might be one of the reasons why you are sat here listening in this evening. Lots of people are looking for a second income stream just because they can and they want to make use of their spare time, turning hobbies into businesses, but also because a lot of people are looking for independence and financial security, and because life's expensive, isn't it? And let's face it, we all want a little bit more style to our life. Now, did you know, did you know that 98% of the decisions you make today are based on your job. Think about that. So when you choose to do your food shopping, when you start work, when you set your alarm in the morning, when you go to bed, when and where you can exercise, who drops your children to school or nursery, when you get to see extended family, when you have your holidays, how many holidays you have, think about that. You know, having a fixed location job with a contract that's been designed by somebody else can present challenges in your life, and it might be why you're listening to this presentation this evening. So little or no flexibility, holiday time. I learned a statistic the other day. In fact, it was just pointed out to me. An average employee probably has around 25 days holiday a year, where children have 65 school holiday days. How is that supposed to work? Pressure if children are ill, limited possibilities to grow your income. As I said, I shared that with you. You know, often that's capped with inflation or whatever competition there is in your workplace for those promotions that you might be going for. Discrimination in the workplace. Do you know what? It made me feel a bit like when I saw that written on this slide, it made me feel a bit uncomfortable to even read it out. But the fact is that is happening, and particularly to women. And I don't know about you, but I wasn't cool with that. So we are all facing challenges, and you might be able to relate to all of them or some of them as you listen in this evening. Can we
Well,
have
you
a
have to bear with. I've lost the slide. Just can you still see the slide?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Bear with 1 second. All I can see is lots of lovely faces on the screen.
Don't worry. I'm sure they'll all smile at us and be really, really kind to us. This happens, doesn't it? So we do. I can't actually remember what's coming up on the next slide, but I know when this was me 11 years ago, wondering, I found myself at a bit of crossroads, if I'm being really honest, and thought there has to be a solution. Now, my friend asked me to look at this business opportunity, and I kind of viewed her as a bit of a knight in shining armor, thinking, oh my gosh. Actually, I don't know anything about this. I'm a bit scared. Education's what I know. I felt quite safe doing that. But actually, this could be the solution to some of the challenges I was facing whilst being a new mum on maternity leave. What I found when I jumped on board is the most incredibly supportive environment. People of all different backgrounds, ages, different sexes, people who've got children, people who haven't, people with different career backgrounds, qualifications, religions, you name it, all looking for change, whether that be a few £100 a month right through to completely different careers. What I found was the most incredible environment for me to learn, be supported, and be celebrated. Now, that felt alien to me, if I'm being really honest. That wasn't common practice in my place of work. So, you'd be a part of that too. We invite you to come and be a part of our team. Now, what we needed then to find the solution to these problems is we needed a vehicle. Now, the industry we chose to be a part of is called network marketing. I hadn't heard of the industry before, but actually, it's a very, 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 very long-standing industry. It's been around a really long time, and it allows people to have a business, to run a business, come in and learn how that business works without having
Okay.
the need to find a product, to produce the product, or even produce the marketing material. That's all done for you. And actually, you can have out of this business what you want,
Uh-huh.
work the hours that you want to work, from where you want to work, and see the success that's important to you. Now, the company we chose to partner with within the network marketing industry is called Forever Living Products. I hadn't heard of them either. Some of you may have, some of you may not have. Do you know though? If we were going to partner with any company within the network marketing industry, it would have to be the best, right? Yesterday, we celebrated our 47th birthday. Forever Living are 47 years old. I knew saying, well, I've got a stable, secure career as a teacher. Everyone needs a teacher. I'm always going to be paid. Can I have that here? If I put my time and effort into something, certainly on my first maternity leave, am I going to be rewarded long term financially? I'm hoping you can see by some of the facts on this slide here that absolutely yes, you will be. This company is stable, secure, cash rich, and debt free, no shareholders, is privately owned and family owned. That said it all. They turn over $3 billion dollars per year. That's all I needed to hear. Yes, I'm prepared to roll my sleeves up and put some work in the nooks and crannies around being a busy mum. We're an aloe vera company. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that I would leave an education career to be super passionate about aloe, yet here I am. Most people know about aloe. I'm sure you'll agree. Most people know that aloe is good for you somehow. And actually, think about that. We're going to talk to you about that in a moment. You will know people who are into their health and wellness. Now, that might be in this country, but Forever Living operate in over 146 countries around the world. So you're not, again, it's not location dependent. You can build a business globally, which is really, really exciting. Now, our product range, you'll need to know that we do have the most incredible product range, because if you're going to work alongside a company, do you know the company is only as good as the products. They are ageless products. They are products that are suitable for everybody. And actually, since I've had my business 11 years, we're always given new products to bring to market. And the company are really smart with how they do that. They're actually the number one grower and producer of aloe vera products, and they manufacture all of these products themselves with aloe vera as the number one ingredient. What they do is look ahead at current market trends within the health and wellness industry and say, actually, there's a huge gap in the market here, or huge potential with that sector within the market, and bring us the most insane quality products that we can be really proud not only to use ourselves, but to recommend on to other people as well. We don't just have what I love about Forever Living is that it's not just an invisible, like, digital product. This is a product that it's tangible. People touch it. People fall in love with these products. If people find a nice skincare range or a hair product or a makeup brand that they use, they stick with it because they like it, they enjoy it, they trust it. That's exactly what's going to happen to you here. We're in control of the whole process. Our USP actually is that we're a vertically integrated company, which means we own everything. The fields that the aloe is grown in, the manufacturing facilities, the distribution centres that we have all over the world. And the best bit for me, and if I'm being really honest, when I realised was the product involved and that I would need to be selling something, is, gosh, that doesn't feel that's me. It didn't feel natural for me to do that. And actually, all I find I'm doing is recommending, from my personal experience, a product that I'm using, just like you would recommend a great film at the cinema or a nice meal in a restaurant. But I haven't got to find hundreds and hundreds of new customers all the time, because the products are consumable, which means people come back for more. So I actually look after a quite a nice customer base of about 15 people big. So that's me giving you a brief overview about the company and who we are as a team, and giving you a feel of who and what kind of environment you'd be working alongside. I'm now going to pass you on to my friend Lisa, who's got an incredibly successful business working alongside us, and she's going to give you a little bit more information about our product range and how you can earn some money. Over to you, Lisa.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gents, thank you for joining us this evening. I cannot wait to take over and share with you our incredible product range, because it's something that I'm super passionate about. Before I do that, I think it's really important to understand that this business isn't one size fits all. We're different people from different backgrounds, and mine is very different to Claire's. And the fact that 11 years ago, I was a full-time detective in the police. I joined the police at 18. That was going to be my career for life. But then when I was pregnant with my second baby, I found myself searching the internet for ways to generate an extra income so that I wouldn't have to rush back to work after maternity leave. I thank my lucky stars daily that somebody thought enough of me to share this business. I saw it. I didn't really understand it, if I'm honest, but it felt right. Something felt right. And I was at a point in my life, I was desperate for more money. We had £30,000 worth of debt. I always say it was manageable debt, but it didn't feel great. And I just found myself thinking, is this it? There's got to be more to life. So I jumped straight in. Within the first 8 weeks, I'd replaced my police wage. I never went back to work. So I was a mummy to two, working very flexibly around my newborn, my 3-year-old, and went on to build a business that allowed me to travel the world, meet the most incredible people. I tried for a third baby was twin boys. So for me, it's allowed me to, like Claire said, have a career that I'm proud of, an income that has out earned the police, but has allowed me to be a present full-time mum to my 4 babies. Now, 47 years worth of business. What I know is that if our product range wasn't second to none, we wouldn't have lasted 47 days, never mind 47 years. And the products are something that I'm really passionate about. Like Claire, never in a million years did I imagine selling aloe vera. I'd never even seen an aloe plant and had no idea what it looked like. What I do know now, for those of you that are as clueless as I was 11 years ago, as Claire said, we're the largest growing manufacturer and distributor of aloe products. of aloe vera, sorry. And if you imagine hand harvesting the plant, scooping out that inner leaf part of the plant, and within 6 hours of taking it out of the ground, it's put into all of our products. It's tested year in, year out to prove that our aloe is as active in our products as it is ground itself. So our unique selling point is we're an aloe vera company. And one thing I know is I never had to convince anybody about the power of aloe vera. People know that aloe vera is good for you, whether you're drinking it for your insides, whether you're putting it on your skin topically. So people know that aloe is good for you, and that's how we are a cut above any other company on the market. Now, if you look at a product range, is anybody else like me where I'm like, oh, sounds great, and I need an extra income? But actually, who am I even going to sell products to? That was me. Who am I even going to sell products to? And actually, what I found was every single person that you know and are even yet to meet, that you will meet at some point, is a potential customer. Because, the health and wellness marketplace, if you are going to sit yourself alongside a business, you want to start a business, you want to earn an extra replacement income, you will sit yourself alongside the next $1 trillion marketplace. Health and wellness will only ever continue to grow because people want to look good, people want to feel good, people want to feel more comfortable and confident in their skin. So it is the right marketplace to position yourself in. So our top selling product is our aloe vera drinking gel. Aloe is all about gut health, supporting your immune system, your hair, your skin, your nails, your digestive tract. It's a natural tonic that you take every single day. Not only do I drink, but my children drink as well. So who do you know that wants to feel better, that wants to have a spring in the step, wants more energy levels? And if that's not you, I suggest you leave the call because everybody wants that. Of course we do. We all want to look and feel our best. Daily care products. You will have all cleaned your teeth today, washed your hair, used deodorant, washed your hands. You know, I wouldn't say, I mean, there's hundreds of products in the product range, but I can easily say I use probably 20, if not more, of forever products every single day, from cleaning my teeth to taking supplements to drinking aloe to our skincare products. Skincare is an absolute obsession of mine because when I started my business, I didn't have great skin. I'm raising a teenage girl and I want her to know that she is enough in her skin, makeup free, filter free, and it's something that I'm really passionate about. And we have a multiple award winning product range. And then lastly, weight management is a range within our products. Who do you know that wants to lose a little bit of weight, especially now they're coming up to summer, who wants to feel a little bit better? Who do you know that wants to maintain their weight with great products or even maybe put on a little bit of weight? So you can see there that the health and wellness market is projected to reach 7 trillion. Like my brain cannot even comprehend 7 trillion. But what I do know is that you can have a tiny little piece of that pie, and a tiny little piece of that would bring you an extra few £100s per month, a few £1,000s per month, because people more than ever are prioritizing the way they look and feel and their health. And you don't have to take our word for it because every single day we get hundreds of reviews about our products. We are a multiple award winning brand, as I have said, and you can see some of the awards on the screen, whether that be the Global Beauty Awards, whether that be we've won awards on ASOS. So there's lots of different awards that we win when it comes down to our products. What I love is that I can say confidently to my customers, you don't have to take my word for it. The company offer an unconditional 60-day money back guarantee. So you can use our products as a customer for 60 days. And if you don't feel the benefits and you don't have a spring in your step and you don't feel like your skin is starting to glow, then you are entitled to a full refund. Now, think about that for a second. For a company that had been established for 47 years and are offering an unconditional money back guarantee, if that doesn't tell you how incredible our products are, then I don't know what is or what does. So Christine said not only did she lose weight, she felt less bloated, she slept amazing, she had more energy than usual. Since finishing, she wanted to make healthier food choices. It was the kick start that she needed. I'm not going to read them all. You can see there that Sarah was talking about her skin more hydrated. You can see that Amy said it's the best moisturizer that she's ever used. The skin feels fresh and healthy and deeply nourished. So again, you don't have to take our word for it. Now, again, when I got started, as I said, I was a police officer. I'd never sold products in my life. And my big question was, who am I going to recommend these products to? And how am I going to develop a loyal customer base? Because what you want is people that fall in love with the product and come back week in, week out, month in, month out, because they cannot get enough. And that starts with you. That starts with you falling in love with the brand. I talk about my products constantly because I genuinely love how they make me feel, the benefits they've had on my children, and how my skin looks and feels. In the same way that if you're obsessed with a Netflix season, your series, you tell everyone. You tell everyone because you're obsessed and you love it. And have you seen such a thing on Netflix? It's no different. We are recommending everything on a daily basis. So I want you to take the thought of selling out of starting a business because we naturally, as people, buy from people that we know, like, and trust. And if somebody tells you, it's no different than me saying, Esther, I love your top. Where is your top from? Esther tells me her top's from River Island, and I take myself off to River Island to buy said top. You know, it's no different. The only difference is Esther doesn't get paid on that referral. She's just doing it because, you know, she's nice, she likes to tell me where her top's from. It's no different. Let me just make sure everybody's muted. So we fall in love with the products. We're passionate about them. I hope you can see that I am really passionate about our brand and our products. From there, I naturally talk about them because, like I said, who doesn't want to look and feel their best? From there, over time, I've developed a loyal customer base, and that loyal customer base, the company will pay you anywhere between 30 and 48% profit on your products. So right now, what would you do with an extra 500 to £1,000 from recommending a brand and a product that you love? What would you spend it on? How much difference would it make into your household right now? And then let's move on. Why should we build a business alongside an aloe vera company? Why wouldn't you build a business alongside an aloe vera company? Because I've already said everybody knows about the power of aloe vera. The amount of times that people have said to me, oh, wow, we've got a plant. Oh, wow, I've used it for X, Y, and Z over the years. So we're never having to convince anybody about the power of aloe. It dates back to thousands and thousands of years ago. Cleopatra, allegedly used aloe vera more than 4,000 years ago. There is no other plant in the entire world that has been subject to more books and references. And then lastly, if I'm sat here telling you that the projected growth within the aloe vera marketplace is set to grow to over 758 million in the next 5 years, that growth within that $7 trillion industry that I've already previously spoken about, then I don't know what is, because I really wanted to align myself with a brand that was based on integrity. It was based on great quality products. And that's exactly what our products are. So we've built a loyal customer base. We're happy with the products. We're happy to talk about the products. What next? I didn't start my business to sell aloe vera. I was happy to do that because of how much I love the products. But what I did build a business for was to replace my police wage. And if you see what I'm about to see now and you see the potential, I always say it comes with a warning. You shouldn't be able to unsee it because the potential is huge. So we've fallen in love with the brand. We're using the brand. We're feeling the benefits. We've started to develop a loyal customer base. But now we're going to start to share the business opportunity. Somebody's thought enough of you this evening to say, come and take a look at what I do. Now, at the end of this presentation, you will either see what we see and you will do what we did and you will jump straight in, or it might just not be the right time, or right now it might not be for you. But we're here to say, come and take a look. So we're sharing the business opportunity. Now, I joined the police to help other people. And 10 years in a career, I honestly can't remember an incident that I ever dealt with where I think, you know what, I really made a difference then. However, 11 years of building my business, I can tell you thousands of times when I've helped people earn £50 extra a month, £1,000, six-figure incomes, people that have traveled the world, genuinely helped other people be able to change their circumstances, whether that be a little bit or a lot. So if you are passionate about connection, helping people, building a community, being surrounded by like-minded people, then you are in the right place. Because from using and sharing the products and helping other people to do exactly the same, Forever will now pay you a percentage of the turnover of the products within your entire business, not just the products that you're retailing yourself. So the people that you start to work alongside, they will be receiving their profit from recommending the products, but the company will pay you a percentage of the turnover. Now that can be anywhere from £2,000 to £10,000 plus every single month. Now, Claire at the beginning spoke about, the problems that people are facing right now. £2,000 per month was more than my police wage. That would have been the solution to 100% of my problems. So I want to again just sit there for a second and say, if you was to earn an extra £2,000 per month, probably very part-time flexibly alongside what you already do, how much of a difference would that make? What would you do with it? Would you pay your mortgage off? Would you go on more holidays? Now, at that point, what I'm going to do is introduce one of our friends to just talk through a little bit of her journey, how she differs from myself and Claire, and just what she's achieved from working alongside us.
Thanks, ladies. Yeah, exactly. I think everything you say, Lisa, about being part of something was everything that I didn't have. So, if there's one bit of advice I could give you guys on the call this evening, it would be just say yes. Say yes to this incredible opportunity because it is completely life-changing. So, I've had my business working with this incredible company for 9 years now, coming up to 9 years in July. And I was that person sat in an office desk, staring out the window, thinking, God, I wish I had more time. I wish I could travel more. I wish I didn't have to work the hours I did. And desperately looking for something different, but just had no idea what. I very much, again, like Lisa, was using these products because once you use these products, you won't be able to not and you won't be able to not talk about them. And that was me. So I was using this product range, desperately looking for a way out of my insurance role, which was utterly boring and soul destroying. That I spent 10 years hard graft working my way up a very male dominant industry. And so I used these products and I found it was so easy to start talking about them because they changed people's lives, they changed my own health. And so, step by step, I just started recommending the products, sharing them within my networks and my friends. And exactly like Lisa said, helping other people, which I think for me is a massive, massive part of it. Because in insurance, not going to lie, you don't really help anyone. No one ever wants to talk to you, no one ever wants to take your calls. So, I went from being utterly bored and having the life zapped out of me to being part of this unbelievable company that has helped me achieve more than I ever can imagine already. And the other thing I would say about this company is it moves with you, it changes as your life changes. And I don't know another job out there that will change the hours that you can put in if your circumstances change. Or a job that will say to you, do you know what? I fancy earning a little bit more income. Let's go for some of these incentives. And you can just do that because let's face it, every job comes with restrictions, being told what you're worth, and often not a lot of payback or recognition. And that's everything that you get with this business. So fast forward 9 years on, I've replaced my corporate income. I sacked the boss. I've had a child. I've been at home. I've been able to spend the time that I wanted with him. He's now in school, so I've got more time again. And every day I wake up just knowing that I'm going to be helping change the lives of other people with our products and our amazing business opportunities. So you literally have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Yeah, thanks, ladies.
Thank you very much. Let's quickly move on to something that lights me up and is our company incentives. And the reason is we were that family that went to the same all-inclusive holiday every single year. My husband would work every single hour overtime that he could just so could afford to go away. So when I looked at the incentives and I thought, you know what, if these people could do it, then why can't I? And like Esther said, I started to work towards the incentives and we've been able to travel as a company. We're recently back from a trip in Paris. I think that might have been like my 15th trip in 11 years. We've been to places like Bali, we've been to Abu Dhabi, we've been to Johannesburg, we've been to Dallas. And I don't say any of that. You can see I say it with a smile on my face. I'm like, is that my life? Can I say that I've been to those places with my children and create the most incredible memories? And I can because I said yes. I can because I looked at a different way of working and jumped in and didn't overthink it. So the company will pay for you plus one, and then of course you can add your children or who anybody else you'd like to take. They have a car plan incentive. We call it car plan. It's actually a cash bonus up to 6,300 per year that you can spend on whatever you like. Bonus. I just collected my 11th chairman's bonus check in 11 years. Essentially, it's a 13th paycheck where the company, they don't advertise on football or shirts, they don't advertise on billboards, but what they do is put back into us as business owners and give away, you know, millions in bonus checks for those that want to work towards it. And again, these are not, compulsory. These are incentives that if you are driven and you do want to build a legacy business that can stand the test of time, that can be rolled down to your children, then you absolutely are in the right place, and you have all of these to work towards from the second that you get started. And I always say at this point that I qualified for all of these incentives in my first 12 months of business. Again, that's not to say that I'm any different to you. That's just to say, look, I saw the potential, I got stuck in. And remember when I said you can't unsee it? So if you want to go for the incentives, you absolutely can from the second that you get registered. What's interesting is that's my little boy. My little boy is on his last day of his SATs tomorrow, thank the Lord, and he'll be leaving primary school. And I started this business when I was pregnant with him because I didn't want fixed hours. I didn't want to be sat in the same police station for another 10 years after the 10 that I'd already done. I didn't want a boss telling me what hours I could work. I didn't want to be worried about school holidays and where they would go and the childcare. I didn't want all of those limitations being put on me and somebody telling me about my worth. And I look back at that little boy and it makes me emotional. I'm like, wow, what an opportunity that you have all of that in your hands, and you can do with this business whatever you like. Like I said, whether you're here for a little bit or a lot. Now, every business needs tools to get started, and we are really, really fortunate here at Forever that we have two separate starter options. I couldn't actually believe that it was only £199.75. And I say that, and I also say I actually didn't have £199.75 to my name. I started 2 weeks before Christmas, 31 weeks pregnant, no money saved on maternity leave, and didn't have £200 spare. And I know there'll be people on the call that think, they're in that exact same situation. But I couldn't unsee the potential. And I couldn't help but find myself thinking, what if? What if this gets me out of debt? What if this gives me £300 extra a month? What if this starts to make my life easier? Now, that £199.75, you're not just paying that to Forever to get started, you're invested in some products, because I've, raged on about how passionate you need to be about the products. So this gives you the opportunity to sample over £300 of the products at a huge, huge discount. Now, the company, again, I've already said, they're incredibly generous and really fair with everything that they do. The police officer in me really started to try and find holes in the marketing plan, holes in the business, and I couldn't find any. And when something like this says that you can use the products for 14 days, and if you don't fall in love, you can return them and get a full refund, again, speaks volumes for the integrity of the company. So these two starter kits, you get the option of the top 10 selling products. You get 2 of each product. This will allow you to, if you want to sell the duplicate products, make back over £140 instantly. If you chose to sell those, you probably want to use them all though, if I'm honest. And then the second one is my absolute passion, and it's skincare. Like, who doesn't want a 6-step skincare routine to have the best skin of your life? Now, this will then give you between 30 and 48% product off the entire range for life. So it gets you off to the best possible start. Now, you're not just buying yourself some products, you're investing in yourself, you are investing in your future, and you're investing in a business, essentially in a box. It will give you a global business license to sell anywhere where we trade in over 140 countries. It gives you a proven success formula, proven in the fact that for over 47 years, we have traded successfully, turning over billions, and we can show you how to be part of that. You get your online website, your own website that shows you exactly, so that allows you to place your orders, that allows you to send your products direct to your customers. They can order direct from your online web store. And what I know is web stores, if you're going to get one made, cost thousands of pounds, and you get one for free as soon as you get registered. What is powerful is from the second that you say yes, you can trade anywhere where we trade. There are some big companies like John Lewis, for example, that don't trade outside of Europe because they can't get an international selling license, and yet you can get one for less than £200. You get your literature, you get your trainings, you get everything that you need to see the success that you crave and that you deserve. We believe that we are solutions to your problems. I believe that. And I also say it comes with a warning. You're going to make some incredible friends. You're going to learn some skills. You're going to grow as a person. You're going to grow in confidence. And what happens is when you get registered, you'll get an online mentor, a friend that will guide you every single step of the way. You will get training on the industry and how to market yourself offline and online on social media. We know that online sales right now and having a presence online is key for those that want to build a business, and we'll show you how to do that. You'll get weekly coaching, you'll get a supportive environment, you'll get free training. You get more than you ever imagined possible. Our commitment to you is that we will give you all of the tools to see the success that you deserve. Your commitment to yourself is that you get ready, you get stuck in, you invest in yourself, you start to learn the trainings, and you let us guide you to be able to build a business to achieve whatever it is that you are looking for. Now, I know it's a lot of information. I remember listening to it for the first time thinking, oh, I don't really understand it, but it just feels good and it feels exciting. And you know what? I really want to try the products. If that is you, tell the person that's introduced you to this, invited you to call this evening, that you're in. Literally message them right now. I am in. How do I get started? Because I can guarantee it'll be the best decision that you ever made. Somebody handed me a lifeline 11 years ago, and I'm grateful that I took it. If it's not for you right now, for whatever reason, timing just isn't right. I get that. Because I think timing is everything. But what I will say is try the products. Get registered with that starter kit of products. Give yourself 30% discount off the entire brand for life. Start to use and feel and get a feel for the product, and start to look and feel your best. Why would you not want to do that? And if it's not for you, then it's not for you. And I'm the first to say it's not always for everybody, but we appreciate your time and we appreciate you being here, taking a look at the information. What I will end on is if somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, and if you're not sure that you can do it, because I know that everybody on this call tonight, and there's close to 70 people that are listening in, for those of you that are business owners, most of you will have felt unsure. Most of you will have felt nervous when you got started. What they all did was took a leap of faith in the products, in the company, in themselves, because they wanted more over the next few years. So get stuck in, let us show you how to do it. Now, what I will say is if you've still got any questions after this evening, then that is absolutely fine. No question is too silly. If you don't know the answer, make sure you get your questions answered. I appreciate you all. Thank you for joining us. Claire, Esther, ladies, thank you for being here with me this evening. And we cannot wait to see you all get registered with your business soon. Take care. Thank you very much.